This story is a little convoluted, and I will try my best to make it clear. I have never told anyone the paranormal part, as I honestly felt no one would believe me. My father and his brother Gary were lifelong dairy farmers in Wisconsin. We lived less than 2 miles apart. When needed, we would trade help and labor on harvest and planting jobs that demanded it. Many times my dad would send me saying, "You have to go and help at Gary's." Eventually I took over our farm from my dad, and my cousin Mike took over from his father Gary. Uncle Gary passed away 12 years ago, and Gary's widow eventually met a nice man and moved in with him. My cousin Mike ended up moving back into the farmhouse. Mike sold the dairy herd soon after my Uncle Gary died, and he ended up getting a 9-to-5 job. My dad passed away over 6 years ago, after me taking care of him for over 18 years. He had lived in this house his whole life. I also sold my dairy herd soon after he passed. About a year after my dad passed away, on an October night, Mike started a fire in the wood furnace in the basement, and he went to bed. His sister had just gotten out of a bad relationship, and she was living there too. She got home from her job at about midnight and added some wood to the furnace, and she went to bed as well. Now, the story I told everyone when this event happened was this. I was coming home from looking at equipment for sale across the state. I stopped in a nearby city to see a late movie. I then hit a bar for a few soft drinks. Then I had a meal at a 24-hour restaurant. On the way home at about 3 a.m., I passed by Mike's place and saw fire coming out from the chimney and smoke coming out from the basement door. I dialed 911 with the location and ran into the house yelling for them to get up. There was minimal smoke upstairs at the time. Mike and I went downstairs with a fire extinguisher and found an area of about 3 square feet at the base of the chimney where the floor joists were burning. We put the fire out with the extinguisher and some water. The fire department then arrived and put out the chimney fire. There was no real smoke damage upstairs, and minimal repairs to the house were needed. But a few more minutes and the fire would have burned up into the kitchen. Now, the truth of what happened was this. I had gotten home at about 10:30, and I went to bed. Now, some of this I am not clear on. I am not sure if I dreamed it, or if it was some sort of apparition. But close to 3 a.m., my dad opened the door to my room and turned the light on. And he said, "Get up. You have to go help at Gary's." I remember saying, in the morning, he said, in his most authoritative voice, "No, right now." I sat bolt upright in bed. My room door was open and the hallway light was on. I tried to dismiss it as my imagination, but I knew I had turned off that light and had shut my door. I soon realized that with the adrenaline rush and my lingering doubts, I would not get back to sleep. So just for peace of mind, I decided to get dressed and drive over to check on Mike's place. And that's when I spotted the chimney fire.